Hello everybody and welcome back to Markers and Monsters, Doctor Who-Athon 2017, where we continue our journey into drawing a bunch of Doctor Who monsters and stuff with an Ice Warrior today. Yes, I'm very excited about this one. I've always wanted to draw an Ice Warrior. They look a lot of fun. Ice Warriors are these big, buff, green armored dudes who are from Mars, apparently. They're in these like biomechanical suits of scaly armor, and they've been around in Doctor Who lore for a long time. First appearing in 1967 in a story called, appropriately, The Ice Warriors. From there, they appeared in a couple more classic Doctor Who stories, 69 in The Seeds of Death, 72 in The Curse of Peladon, and 74 in The Follow-Up Monster of Peladon. Now, they hadn't been seen then for a while until 2013 when they appeared in an 11th Doctor story called Cold War. And this is a really cool one where the Doctor, the 11th Doctor, and his companions, Amy and Rory, end up getting trapped on a Russian submarine that is underneath the ice in like the Arctic. And the Russian submarine in the 80s had uncovered this, mysterious wave or something like that. And they ended up finding a block of ice. And trapped within the block of ice, very much like The Thing, is this Ice Warrior, whose name is apparently Grand Marshal Skaldak. And they unfreeze him, and he comes out of this block of ice, and he is seriously not happy, and starts just wrecking the crew up. And it's up to the Doctor and his companions to stop that from happening. So, lots of fun there. I really enjoy the episode. And I'm sorry, I mentioned his companions was Amy and Rory. No, I was wrong. It's Clara. I got that mixed up. He and Clara encounter this Grand Marshal Skaldak, so sorry about that. But yeah, the Ice Warriors have been around for a while. They've made a lot of cameos, a little like in the background they'll appear, or the Doctor will mention them here and there. They're always on like a list of his enemies if he ever goes through various lists. I think the 5th Doctor mentions them right when he regenerates. I know the 10th Doctor mentions them a couple times. So yeah, very cool stuff. They've been around for a while. Another neat thing about the Ice Warriors is they're both allies and enemies. Sometimes, when they first appear, they're enemies trying to conquer the Earth because, Mars had that terrible ice age which wiped everything out, and they're trying to turn Earth into an atmosphere they can live in, and it's up to the Doctors to stop them. Then they'll sometimes appear and help the Doctor, not necessarily through genuine like altruism, but because they just happens to be that the Doctor is on the same side as they are, stuff like that. So pretty neat creatures, a lot of fun to draw. Like I said, the armor was a blast to do here. This armor is actually specifically Grand Marshal Skaldak's armor. The older Ice Warriors from the 60s, the design was very similar, but just not quite as nuanced. And while I like it, I really want to do this guy because he's got all these like spiky bits and bumps. And again, the production team did a great job with the armor. And I got to point out, once again, even in 2013, this armor, the Ice Warrior here, was not at all CG. He was just like made. They built this suit and stuck a guy in it and had him do his thing, which is cool. So in the background, as you can see, I put in some pipes, and I covered up the whole background then with a lighter gray, just to kind of blend them into the background a little more and make that green pop out. So that's what just happened there. And now we're going to start with the inking and getting all these little bumpies and spiky bits and stuff like that. And they're very geometrical. They're not just like pure spikes shooting up. They're like designed to be very squared off and like a four-sided triangle, So I think it's more of an aesthetic choice in the armor rather than like tactical spikes to headbutt your enemy with. But hey, I don't know. I don't want to get headbutted by one of these guys. Other thing I really enjoyed is that the skin underneath is greenish as well, so it kind of blends in with the armor a little bit, which is pretty cool. But then they've got these like red bug eye looking glass shields over their eyes, which is, I think, pretty awesome and pretty cool. So yeah, very fun. The red pops out of that green and just looks really great. So filling in all these little scales was kind of a pain, but at the same time kind of fun. So it was nice to just go bananas and just add these in, leave a little highlight there in the background, like the lights coming from behind a little more. But again, with all these marker drawings, I tend to keep them a little bit cartoonier rather than, photorealistic. It's just fun for me to do, and they, don't take too long, unlike like a full drawing that I'll have in my portfolio or something like that. These are just like real quick, boom, boom, get them done, and that's a blast. And that's another reason these Doctor Who monsters have been just a ton of fun to do is, do them quick and just get the essential character of the monster, and away you go. So yeah, filling in the scales here is a lot of fun. I guess this might be a nice time to talk briefly about the missing episodes of Doctor Who. Now, I mentioned that the Ice Warriors first appeared in a 1967 serial. Older Doctor Who tended to be like episodes would be a continuing part of a story. Like there'd be like 3 or 4 episodes, usually 4, would make up one entire story. And, that's how you buy them on DVD. It's like buy the story, old Doctor Who, not buy the season or anything. So if you buy the Ice Warriors, unfortunately, episodes 2 and 3 are missing. They're completely gone. Back in the 70s, the BBC had this brilliant idea that to save space, they would wipe clean the master tapes of the older episodes, because who's going to want to watch older Doctor Who episodes? Jeez. So yeah, they would wipe these tapes, and it's due to the dedication of a number of people that they've been finding missing episodes that the BBC had shipped off to other stations. Hey, let's take a look at the scan here real quick, and we'll continue our discussion of lost episodes. Pretty cool, guys. I hope you like it. I had fun drawing it. But anyway, back to the missing episodes. So they'd wipe these tapes. At this point, I think there's something like 90-some first and second Doctor episodes that are completely missing. And Ice Warriors is one of those episodes that it has a story that has missing episodes. Thankfully, though, all of the audio remains. And what they've done for a lot of these DVD releases with missing episodes is they've animated the missing episodes set to the actual audio of the episode. So it's pretty cool stuff. I've seen a number of those, and I've really enjoyed them. They've been a lot of fun, and it's, even though it's not as good as seeing the actual footage, it's, I think, still pretty great. Well, hey, that's it for me for now, guys. Join me for the next Doctor Who-Athon, where we'll be doing something else fun. And until then, we'll see you later. Bye.